Welcome to the MMHP in the 989, channeling all styles and eras of Michigan music history. Recorded live inside the Rock Legends Hall of Fame in Bay City, Michigan. Featuring Dr. J, Sir Fred, Mr. Mike, and your host, Scott Baker.
We're back here with part 2 here in the MMHP in the 989 with Mr. Chuck Bartels ending the 2025 calendar season. And we want to thank him once again for making the trek to Bay City to visit us at the Michigan Rock Legends Hall of Fame, as well as to give us the backstory on his incredible history and everything that's happened up till now, as well as what's to come. And in part 2, that's where we're going to head off, is getting to catch up with all the cool stuff that he wanted to finish up talking about, as well as where he's heading. So I'm not going to hold you guys any longer. We're going to get rapping right into it. Once again, Mr. Chuck Bartels, thank you. Part 2 here in the MMHP and the 989. What are some of your favorite records you've recorded with any of the bands, or anybody we haven't mentioned? You're on a lot of records.
Couple that I'm really proud of that I wish would have done better. Tasha Owens, you know Tasha?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Wrong Side of Right. And Lucas produced that.
Okay.
Man, that record, she is like, her singing, she lives it too. I mean, she's like, if you took Gladys Knight, a young Gladys Knight, and mixed that with a bar fight, that's basically Tasha's voice, you know, just like all the right kind of raspiness and, you know, so I'm really proud of that one. And then Tracy Cash is a singer-songwriter in town, and she did a record that is very Carole King. I shut my thing off. I'll tell you what the name of the record is when I turn my phone on, but Fierce. It's called Fierce. But it's very Carole King. A little bit of Barbra Streisand in there, but real happy with the rhythm tracks on that too, and with the songs and everything.
Who produced that one?
She did. We just went in and
just had fun.
Home? Just had an engineer and just, you know, we rehearsed outside of the studio and came in and knocked it out. I'm trying to think. There's other stuff too. I just did a record with the owner of the studio. I'm trying to think of the name of the studio. It'll come to me. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to turn my phone on. Just outside of Ypsilanti. What's that little city there?
Outside of Ypsilanti.
It's like, it's a small city on the way to Ypsi off of 94. Like, so if you get off at the
Belleville?
But it's like you get off at the Rawsonville Road exit and go down, and it's, I'm sorry guys. I'll tell you one second.
Right off of there.
Mm-hmm.
So just a one little like traffic light town. It'll come to me. I'll tell you. I don't know. I even know how to look for it. Let me see.
Yeah, there's a lot of little towns right
Yeah.
You know.
What the hell is the name of that city?
Ypsilanti is turning right into Canton.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
You know,
yeah, right.
Down Michigan.
Yeah, Ford Road and just and Michigan Avenue.
How many Bettye albums are you on?
None.
She just does sessions when she goes out?
She would not. Yeah, she would not. She told us we were a touring band.
Oh.
We were not a studio band.
Wow. Live records?
Nope.
Holy crap. There's got to be some recorded, though, yeah?
Did you
TV
play,
shows.
Did you play the Ark with Bettye?
Yeah.
I probably saw one of those shows. I've seen her a couple times at the Ark.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, but those were great.
Oh,
That's a perfect room for her.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's just a great room for any performer there. That's terrific.
Yeah. Trying to think of what a lot of records. Trying to think.
Well, when you let me take it back a bit. You were talking about being jazz fusion. What were the bands that you were in at the time? Because that was a hot thing in the early '90s too,
wasn't it? It's
dude.
crazy.
I was just out of high school, so I was like, that was a whole other world of just pre jam band kind of thing. Like,
it wasn't. Yeah, exactly.
What, like Weather Report?
Yeah, well, yeah. You know, that was kind of coming back around. You know, by the time the end of the '90s came around, the Almonds were back hot again. Government Mule, Soul Live, stuff like that.
Yeah, Tribal Tech.
Yeah.
I saw the Mahavishnu Orchestra.
Oh, wow.
We were at the same show.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never seen I think it was Billy Cobble on drums. I never seen such a fast drummer in my life.
Oh, I bet. In his prime, too.
He went from...
I got to play with Jeff Sipe from Aquarium Rescue Unit.
Just recently.
Yeah, that was a dream come true.
I saw that picture.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, he's great.
Chuck, did you think, when you did the jazz studies course at Wayne State and were playing jazz, that actually, did that, maybe some of the, if I'm not sure I'm using the right word, fundamentals, I mean, did that influence your later playing? I mean, that you had that jazz background.
Yeah, that was like, as I call it, that was terror practice when I first got there, because I had to practice every morning for like 3 hours just to not suck, not even to be good or even regular, just to keep my head above water and barely keep up. I had to practice every morning because the competition was so high, and there was so much that I didn't know. There's a lot of jazz stuff I just didn't know at all. So there was a ton of practice. And then when summer would come, there'd be like 5-hour practice days trying to get it all together.
Were you listening to any particular jazz bassists at that time that were inspirational for you?
I liked a lot of horn players. I'm a big Clifford Brown, Sonny Rollins guy. As far as jazz bassists go, I tended to be more of an electric, because I don't really play upright. But there was I loved Ron Carter's walking. His walking lines were just works of art. Ray Brown. I loved John Patitucci's upright playing. There was a bunch of guys that I really loved. Jocko was kind of the reason that I decided to go to school. When I heard Jocko, that was a life changer as well.
That's Jocko
Pastorius. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Gary Willis from Tribal Tech. There was a lot of that stuff, and as I practiced and studied, the more I did, the more it was like I started to hear what they were doing. I started to hear the lines. It wasn't just a bunch of percussive bass notes that sounded impressive. It was like actual melodic stuff happening over chords that I could appreciate. But it took a couple of years, of just, thousands of hours of practice and listening to get to the point where I felt like I even had one baby toe in the pond, And I'd say now, this many years later, I probably have 2 toes in the pond. It just
It's still a deep well.
It never ends, man. I just started studying with Gary Dial, who's a guru on the East Coast. He's a piano player in New York, and he carries the Charlie Bonacos torch. Charlie was like the guy. All like Mike Stern, Jay Andrews, all the greats studied with Charlie in the 90s. And he passed away, so his family endorsed Gary. So it's been great. I feel like I'm 22 again.
Awesome.
I gotta practice every day now in the basement. Giant thing of coffee, it's so it never ends, man.
What were some of the bands you were in the 90s or projects? Did you record anything? Because is there anything anybody could track down from that era? Because that was like growing up to that was pretty hot.
I'm trying to think. There was a bunch of bands and a bunch of projects. I don't know if there's any recordings.
Okay.
I was in a band called Joe's Garage. That was exactly what you would think that would be. We did a lot of Mahavishnu.
Zappa?
Yeah, we did some Zappa. Kind of all over the map. A lot of original stuff. I was in this project called Rhythm and Rain with Sean Blackman and John Arnold. Blackman and Arnold.
Yeah.
Man, I'll have to...
It's digging up the cobwebs here.
Yeah, God.
Yeah, where would a band like that get gigs? I mean, jazz is not a form of music
there were a few jazz clubs open at that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was that, and there was a lot of places that would there was that Blue Moon Cafe. I don't know if you remember that place on Woodward. There were places that would hire young players that had quartets, trios. Okay. We didn't make a lot of money, but it's fine.
You got out and played.
Yeah, we think, if we made $50 each, that was in the 90s. And, I think my rent, when I was living in Detroit, my rent believe it or not, was $62.50. So, because I shared, it was 2 bedrooms, a kitchen, and a bathroom, and me and my buddy from Flint shared one of the bedrooms. His bed over here, my bed over here, and one lazy boy chair.
Wow.
So $62.50. So, $50 was almost my rent.
That's going to be a page in your book there, man.
Yeah, it ain't like that anymore. I don't think anything is 60. You can't even fill your tank up for 62.
No,
Right.
not.
Right.
So,
And it's only going to get worse.
yeah, no kidding.
Well, you brought your bass along with you.
I just had it in the car because I was doing something earlier today. I just didn't
Yeah.
know where I'd be. I didn't.
Maybe you could play a little bit if you feel up to it.
I guess. I don't know. What do you want me to play? It's like the thing where I pull the flute out of my. I don't know. What is that? Is that Anchorman?
That's funny.
Gee, I don't know, guys. What do you want me to play? Something?
Sure, that'd be great.
It's an electric, so you're probably not gonna
Get too much amplification.
get it up. It's a lot harder than it used to be.
That
These
is an
seats
issue
are-
here with these couches. I mean,
We need springs to throw
yeah,
us forward.
it's a job getting up off these couches.
Have you written any music? Well, let's wait till you get back on the mic. But have you ever done your own project, Chuck, or anything for yourself, or recorded anything for yourself all these years?
I've always been a team player.
Okay. I was going to ask you that tonight, and I'm like, I'm glad I just remembered, because I'm like, you never talk about what you're doing for you, other than you're jumping in on something.
I haven't really, I've had a lot of people tell me, you got to do a record. You got to do. I'm like, no, I don't. I don't want to do that. That sounds like a nightmare. I don't want to book the studio time and write the songs. I like being a part of something. I like being in a band and composing with people. Where then I'd be one of the names on the song, but I don't know. I just never had the ambition to do that. But life isn't over yet, so maybe I will.
Yeah, never say never, eh?
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about this Fender bass you got.
This is a 73 P bass that I played in the 80s. My friend Dave owned it and would let me play it. And then life went on, as it always does, and I was in Detroit at that point playing my I had a fretless jazz bass at that Jocko, and a few other basses. I forgot about this bass, long story short, but then in 2000 I started thinking about it again, and I called Dave and I said, well, whatever happened to that bass, man? And he said, well, I sold it to my buddy Shane. And Shane left it over at Torch's house. Torch was a biker in the pier. And it's been over there for years. And I'm like, well, will you sell it? I asked Shane, will you sell it to me? Yeah, but you got to give me $250 and you got to go rescue it. I'm like, okay. So we knew Torch was at work. So we went over there and went to the basement, and it was against the wall. It had the same strings from the 80s. It was just corroded.
Wow.
So I got it. We weren't stealing it from him, but I just didn't know how he would react. And of course, he showed up at the last minute, but he was cool. He didn't give us any trouble. So I took it home, and I had the guy at Berkeley Music, Mark Balish, the guitar doctor, as they call him, kind of get it up to snuff. And then I proceeded to not play it for 16 years. Like, I'd play it every once in a while, but I was a 5-string guy. And then when Sturgill called, I broke it back out. And like I said, after about 3 months, I never went back.
So this is the bass that we hear on Sound and
all
Fury.
the sessions. Yeah,
Ooh,
this is
all right.
the one. That was the thing that you figure out pretty quick. Like, there's a reason people play P basses. I mean, it sits in the mix exactly where it's supposed to sit. And if you show up in any studio anywhere with it, no one is ever going to say no one's going to say, why did you bring the P bass?
Right.
You shouldn't have played the P bass. You're never going to hear those words. So I bring it to everything. It always gets a really good sound, on the whatever studio I'm in. It keeps you honest. You can't get too fancy with these things because these strings and the tension, but the notes weigh 1,000 pounds, and that's what you want. So this is my baby. And I got a 63 jazz bass for when I do the nimble bass solo-y type gigs. That's the bass I play, the Revival Allman
Brothers
tribute.
one. Okay.
Yeah. But this is the session bass for sure.
So you also use this on the Mitch album?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exclusively.
Yeah.
Did Don pull it aside and say, "Let me play that for a second"?
Yeah. Down. Yeah. I also brought. I have a one of the advantages, the many advantages of being in a bigger band, is you get free gear. So when I was in Sturgill's band, I had bass guys, companies wanting to give me basses. So at one point, I had like 15 basses. I sold a bunch of. I didn't need them, so I got rid of them. But there's a company called Mulan. I don't know if you're familiar with Mulan.
I've heard of them. Yeah.
They specialize in recreating vintage Fenders.
Oh.
So Tim LaFave, Tim?
Oh, yeah.
Tim and I got to be friends. We did some shows with Tedeschi trucks and stuff. And, Tim hooked me up with them, and the guy, this Korean guy, he messaged me and said, "I want to work with you."
Wow.
And so I'm like, "Well, what does that mean?" And I'm like, "I'd love a 51." And he made me a 51 and sent it to me. I didn't know if it was free or not. I was afraid to ask. I'm like, "Do I got to pay for this? How does this work?" And it was on my front porch, and there was no one waiting for a COD. I'm like, "Oh my God. Okay. Cool."
Yeah. Thank you.
So I used the Mulan. I got a 51 Mulan that I used, and Don checked it out. He loved it. Loved that. But this was the main bass. Yeah.
He must have. I was gonna say he probably fell in love with it.
Yeah. It's. I'm lucky to have it. I
can
love
just
it.
see it.
It's lived.
Yeah.
It's lived. Yeah. Yeah. I got my senior picture taken with this one too.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
The headstock's got the tarnished yellow on it, like it's like old pages in a book.
Yeah. Strings are, when I was playing with Sturgill, those strings were like 4 years old. And we were playing in an arena in Atlanta somewhere, and I broke one. And that was the other dream I always had. You go to a big concert, and you see the guy hand it to a guy, the guitar guy comes running over and fixes it. I was like, I want to do that. And I got to do that.
Oh.
My string broke, so I was like,
Tech goes,
here you go, Patrick. And he came over and he handed me my extra, and then he gave it back to me,
Oh, you had the rock moment.
So awesome.
There we go.
You got flat wounds on that?
Yeah, that's the only way to go, man.
Yeah, you said flat earlier. I'm like, no shit, that's flat wounds.
They are brutal, man. You're not going to be in Weather Report or anything, but
right.
But
I use flat wounds on one of my Godin, the Jazz SEs. It's the kind of the electric acoustic thing.
Is it the same for you? Are they kind of?
They are. Make my fingers. They're that big when I get it. I love it though. I play it. I'm using it with Bobby Balderrama right now in our projects. And
oh, sweet.
The headstock's like it's huge, but it's like classical. It's like
the tone.
The tone. Yeah.
Yeah. I put some labellas on my spare P bass, the really heavy gauge ones, and I used it on one show with Sturgill, and it was so hard to play, but it sounded like bombs being dropped every time I'd hit a note. It was just so huge.
I love it. Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
Your fingers are moving. You're not. This
there's not going to be any, any of that stuff, but it's, So
wow.
It's all about the tone,
Man.
So
cool. Wow. What a story to get that bass back after all the years.
Yeah.
And it's sad again. Now it's
like an idiot. I would play it once in a while, but when you play an active bass, it's, I liken it to like if you type on a modern computer keyboard, that's the bass, the 5-string versus 1920s typewriter. That's this.
Good call. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So,
what kind of amplifiers are you into? Every bass player has a different amp story.
Right. I know it never ends. With Sturgill, I had a high watt, and I had a Fender Super Bassman with 610s. At home, I'm an Aguilar guy, but Aguilar was too modern, so.
Too modern for Sturgill's
for
sound.
That world, yeah. So, and I mean to be fair,
it's an articulate amp.
It is, and with a P bass, when you want that plush thump, Aguilar's a little too clean.
Yeah,
so like a good old Ampeg SVT or the high watt, especially in the Fender, was good for this.
And the 10s, man, poppy.
Yeah. Oh, it was huge.
Punching.
And right before the world shut down, the high watt people called me and they said, "We're going to make you a high watt guy."
Oh,
and I'm like, yeah. And then everything got canceled. So I should call him, like, hey,
remember me? What a story. I wondered how you you've always, I'm sure you've been through enough rigs, but it's like, man, every bass player's got such an, touring stories are so different for every bass. It's like, it's just how it fits the mix for the band. I mean, and the bass is such a major part of it with whatever drummer's playing and whatever vocalist is singing. It's like, it's got to have that.
So many variables.
Yeah. And it's always the bass guy's got to change his shit around a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you can hear one guy and be like, that tone is amazing. And another guy and be like, well, not for me.
And then you could go, well, that guy would be great with that band. And then you're like, no, that just wouldn't work. This is how it is for this band.
Yeah.
And it's like a vocalist.
Yeah.
You know, you lose your the timbre or something when you interchangeable parts, man. But it's you guys know what you got going on, man. I tell you,
it's a lifelong pursuit. Starting to get into DIs and preamps and stuff a little more now. I never paid attention to the pedals and effects. I was always kind of get that away from me. I see guitar players, if something went wrong, you guys having to figure out which cable it was. I'm like, no. One cable, into the amp.
right.
I'm good. But Tim has gotten me into some stuff. LaFave has gotten me into some of that stuff. So slowly and cautiously starting to experiment.
Where does he live? Florida, or
he was in L.A.
Okay.
But I think he moved.
Yeah, he moved somewhere. But I remember when he quit Tedeschi Trucks there, man. It was like, ooh, he was a great addition. I mean, they've had who you want, O'Teal's been in the band,
Yeah. He, if you see what he does, it makes sense.
Yeah.
He's into the avant-garde stuff. He's into heavy improvisational stuff. Like what he did on David Bowie's Black Star record.
Oh my Lord, yeah. Yeah.
That's his world. That's what he likes.
Oh, cool. What a great way to put it. I forgot he was on that.
Yeah. Oh, it's just so amazing, and like the Tedeschi Truck stuff, I think he enjoyed doing it, but it's not what he dug. He didn't dig that. I kind of liken them to like the Derek and the Dominoes, Delaney and Bonnie. Yeah. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
And you love that stuff.
Yeah.
But that wasn't kind of where his heart was. And I think he wanted to
get out there a little bit.
Because he was getting busy with other stuff, and I think it was clashing with their schedule or something. So
Where's your mind at for what you want to do now? I mean, what if the phone were to ring right now, what were we hoping to be calling you?
Tedeschi Trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right up your alley, right up that feel.
Yeah.
The roots.
I can dream,
Yeah.
We were going to sit in with him, with Derek, Miles and I, when we played some outlaw festivals with them, and I was chatting with Derek, and he's like, yeah, we'll get you guys up tonight if you want. And Bobby and I had to leave early that night. So my one chance.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
She's such an excellent singer.
Yeah, she is. The band is great. And they're really, really cool people too. Like
a good organization.
Yeah, just she's a sweetheart. I mean, but the whole band, they're all real friendly, real welcoming. When Kofi was alive, he was super welcoming.
Did you go see Derek when he was solo before?
Saw him a couple times
before he was in the Allmans, even like in the jazz thing he did.
Yeah,
in
with Todd Smalley.
Yeah, Todd.
Yeah, great player.
We go hang on the tour bus in Detroit with him, and he'd just be kicking back and what you guys up to? Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
everybody's so chill.
Yeah,
Smalley was so nice, so down to earth. Oh.
That's you got to be that way though. Yep. Really, I mean, I think I've met a few arrogant people, and it just doesn't really. Most people are real friendly in that way, in the fancy world, as I call it. People are real cool.
It's funny, my story with you and Brett, for a sense, was opening for you guys for the Bettye LaVette and just being in awe of you guys and saying, this is my Detroit band, blah, blah, blah. And I saw Brett come for, I don't think you were in the band, for a blues show Paul Cook put up here in Frankenmuth. He did his Peter Green thing kind of at the time and some of that. And I'm like, that's like my guy is Peter Green. And I'm like, I didn't know there was another guy in this. I don't sound like him, but Brett could do it. And then he's like, oh man, you got to check out what we're doing in Detroit. And he started texting me about the Jeremy Spencer stuff he was doing.
Yeah.
And then I realized, like, oh, this is the dude that was with Bettye that played with you. Cause I met you that night and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is two of my dudes, and I got to follow what you guys are doing, and you guys are so nice. It's like that's it, man. I mean, that whole nice conversation is like it's like that's what inspiration for your brothers, out there.
Yeah, life's too short, man. Yeah, he was going to do a tour with Jeremy. It's too bad it didn't work out. That's Brett's, I think one of his favorites too, is Peter Green.
Yeah, it's his hero. He told me that he produced that stuff, and he's going to send me some outtakes on it. And that was a while ago. I know he's had his kid since then and all that. So it's been a minute. He
moved to Grosse Pointe. He's like right across Mac from me now.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah. He's not going out a whole lot though because of the kid too, I'm sure. But yeah.
Yeah, no, but he left Bettye. I think he stays pretty busy, doing a lot of different things, solo acoustic, and he's real busy with different things. So,
what's on your horizon coming up? Do you know what's coming out, like recording wise or session wise, or maybe a short tour or show or something here and there?
What am I doing? We got a revival thing coming up.
That's the Allman Brother.
Yeah,
and you usually do that at Casual Cafe.
Kind of all over, but yeah, that's the
home base,
the primary. Yeah, I don't have a lot going on right now. April's pretty light. Yeah, not a lot going on. I'm playing a lot of gospel music now at this church nearby, Baptist church. So that's been fun. For me right now, it's a lot of practice and a lot of like learning. I'm learning gospel, playing the 5 again for that, and studying with Gary. And I'm looking to maybe form some sort of jazz trio just as an outlet for the stuff I'm studying with him.
Beautiful.
And then just a lot of like weddings and corporate stuff. That's where the actual money is made. Mm-hmm. And that's it. That's the holding pattern for now. And I'm okay with that.
Does Don Wells got anything projected out for you?
Not so far.
I mean, I know he could play it himself, but he knows what you got, and you guys are good. So
yeah, you never know. I mean, that stuff could always happen. There's nothing that's on the books, but
what a contact.
Yeah. I mean, you never know when the phone's going to ring. That's like the thing. You never know, man. I'm not worried about it though. Like I said, I'm cool. Jeffrey's going to school, and we have our little world, and making a little bit of money, and it's all right. So.
Well, Chuck, thank you for coming up here for doing the show, man.
My pleasure.
Your story, your kindness, your warmth, your music that you've put into Michigan music and took it to the world, dude. We can't thank you enough, brother.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah,
man.
awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Chuck Bartels, thank you, man.
Thank you.
On behalf of our hosts, we would like to thank the Michigan Rock Legends Hall of Fame, our guests, and especially our listeners. The MMHP is found on the 989 network, as well as all familiar podcast hubs. Up-to-the-minute information, as well as Dr. J and Sir Fred's Michigan Music Songs of the Week, can be found on the MMHP's Facebook page, /MMHP989. You can connect with Scott at scottbakermusic.com, Dr. J at michiganrockandrolllegends.com, Sir Fred at fredrife.com, and Mr. Mike on YouTube as MRBTEE1.
And on behalf of Dr. J, Sir Fred, Mr. Mike, and myself, Scott Baker, we would like to thank Eddie Switek for being the voice of the MMHP in the 989.
There's a disconnect. Like Jeffrey and I'll make up songs, and he'll snap his fingers. And he's doing it with a pocket and everything, And I'm like, just take that and do it to Yeah. And he just goes, I don't want to do that. And he doesn't really listen. The main thing is there's no spark. He didn't get the Led Zeppelin laser beam like I did.
Yeah, they got video game laser
beams. I don't know what the laser beam is now, and I just keep waiting for it to find him. Sometimes if a pretty girl and you hear a song and you see the pretty girl at the same time, and it's love, and just like rock and roll and
when everything connects.
Any combination thereof, I'm patiently waiting, but it's looking more and more like he's going to be an accountant.
In 10 years, we'll ask you to be like, he's a killer drummer in Detroit right now.
You can't force it.
I don't. I'm like,
it does not work.
I'll play music every once in a while, and I'll say, like, Jeffrey, this band changed my life. You could, he's on the spectrum just a little teeny bit. Just enough to be awkward. He's got friends at school, but he doesn't do anything when he's home. He doesn't like go to sleepovers because it doesn't occur to him to make that connection. So I try to tell him, like, look, because he knows that he's got it now. We've talked about it. But I've told him, I said, man, if you ever want to meet people, get behind those fucking drums. I don't say that part, but I'm just like, get behind those drums and play, you know. And I could just be old, and maybe it's not like that anymore. I don't know, but
I
that
think it would still be it, man.
the bass saved my life, you know.
Yeah, music isn't in the same value mode as it was when we were younger, though,
Right.
you
It doesn't,
know?
the magic isn't. I mean, for some kids, it is.
Oh yeah,
For some
for
kids,
sure.
yeah.
Even when they've got it and they've got it, they're doing it.
Yeah.
But ones that I see so much talent that it goes, not sure where it wants to go.
Because like there's this 9-year-old girl across the street. Her parents asked me to give her lessons, and she just took to it. And she's already at one of those rock schools. I just kind of stopped. I let her go do that, and she's just taken off.
Wow.
She's like a force of nature on the bass now. you know?
Oh, cool.
I'm like, why can't you do that?
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny, but he's young, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I granted we were 12, but their starting age now, from what I'm seeing, is almost seniors. You know, they're in 11th, 12th grade.
That's
A
okay.
little later than it used to be. But
Yeah.
we didn't have video games prodding us. Well, we did, but not like
Not
they
like
got, you know,
not
Oh,
like
it
they
was-
are now.
Streaming
Or
shows
YouTube.
and movies, and
like making YouTube videos and
there's so many distractions
Yeah.
now. It's like
Yeah,
it's funny. Like
right.
you go into when I go into a hotel and I'm on
I'm
tour,
almost your age.
and they have the TV, you know, and there's like usually one HBO.
yeah.
I'll watch whatever's on there. There's never
Yeah,
a
we'll be
problem.
the same
I just
age
watch
for
that
about 2
when I'm
months.
home, and I got Hulu and Netflix and Amazon and 5,000. I can't find anything to watch.
Well, yeah.
You know?
It's like,
Too many choices.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
No, you're awesome, Dad, man. I know how you're taking care of it. And I see it. Respect, you know,
Yeah.
we're all in that same zone right now, and it's like, I love how you balance it, bro.
it's the greatest thing ever. It's, you know, he's obsessed with Monopoly right now, and he just beats the shit out of me every time we play. He's so good at it. So that's, you know,
Wow.
he'll text me in a little while. Monops? Question mark. Yeah.
For the Prairie Home Companion
Yes.
show, with Sir
Yes.
Rice, because I was with him.
Yeah, I didn't get any photos, unfortunately, of that.
Oh, I did.
That was her, that was her
I
first.
didn't get photos of your band, but
I should have.
Mac and
It was like overwhelming because her record was just coming out, and we hadn't really even rehearsed it yet, and we had to play it there before we rehearsed
Wow.
it. So, yeah, it
sounded
was
good.
Yeah, what record was that, Chuck?
that was she did covers of British rock songs.
Oh yeah, interpretations
Yeah.
of British rock. That's the first album I've ever bought of
yeah,
Betty's.
that's my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
I thought she
that's
did a
my
great job on that.
Got us a tour with the Band of Joy and Robert Plant.
That's that tour you just showed the pass of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Al Hill was still in the band.
Yep. Al and Daryl was drumming, and myself, and then Brett Lucas was playing
Right.
guitar. Yep.
That's when, I don't know if that was the tour, but you guys came and played Bay City, and I opened for you guys. It was
Yeah.
like a big Bay City day. They had the schools playing, a bunch of other bands, and then there was a reunion of Scott Cosley, the Burdens band, and then another band. Then we went on. Then you guys
What
went
year
on.
was that?
Dude,
Was that a 10 or 11?
10 or 9.
10 or 9. Okay.
Yeah.
That was the last time I think I was in Bay City. Unfortunately, it's been a long time.
Well, I mean, you did play here with me and Brett.
Sorry, yeah.
With Brett at
What is that
Scotty's.
place called?
Scotty's Sandbar.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago.
You're gonna have to
Yeah.
basically remind me of everything.
Dude, you're on the go. You're a busy man.
What band was that at Scotty's?
Brett Lucas band. Yeah, I brought
Brett's
them to town a couple years back.